September 2000. A struggling startup walks into a room to beg an industry giant for survival. The asking price? Just $50 million. The executives laughed in their faces. Today, that giant is a ghost, and that startup is a $250 billion empire. Picture that boardroom. Blockbuster executives literally laughing the founders of Netflix out of the room. Today, that arrogant laughter echoes in empty, bankrupt stores, while Netflix dictates global culture. This is not just a story about business. This is a story about arrogance versus adaptation, and how data became more powerful than dominance. At the turn of the millennium, Blockbuster wasn't just a company, it was a monopoly. Over 9,000 stores worldwide, nearly $6 billion in annual revenue, tens of millions of loyal customers. Friday night meant one thing: a trip to Blockbuster. Late fees alone generated hundreds of millions annually, a profit stream so addictive, it became a strategic blindfold. Then came Netflix, a tiny startup founded in 1997. No stores, no brand power, no real leverage. Just an idea. What if renting movies didn't require leaving your house? Netflix's original model was DVDs by mail. Customers built a queue online. Discs arrived in red envelopes. No late fees. Ever. Blockbuster saw it and laughed. Why? Because they weren't competing on convenience. They were optimizing control. Blockbuster didn't fail because they didn't see Netflix. They failed because they misunderstood what Netflix was. To Blockbuster, Netflix was a niche service for tech enthusiasts. To Netflix, this was never about DVDs. It was about behavioral data. Every click, every rating, every rental queue. Netflix was quietly building one of the most valuable data sets in entertainment history. While Blockbuster tracked inventory, Netflix tracked people. And that difference, it would become fatal. In 2000, Netflix was struggling. The dot-com bubble had burst. Cash was tight. Survival was uncertain. So Reed Hastings made a bold move. He approached Blockbuster with an offer. Buy Netflix for $50 million. Blockbuster's response? Laughter. They didn't just reject the deal, they dismissed the entire model. Why invest in a low-margin, mail-order business when you dominate physical retail? What they didn't realize was that they weren't buying DVDs. They were being offered the future. In 2006, Netflix made a move that would redefine entertainment. The Netflix Prize. A $1 million challenge to improve its recommendation algorithm by just 10%. Why did this matter? Because Netflix understood something revolutionary. The biggest problem in entertainment isn't access. It's choice. Too many options create paralysis. Netflix's solution was to predict what you want before you know it. Their algorithm analyzed viewing history, ratings, watch time, and even when users stopped watching. It didn't just recommend content, it learned your psychology. Meanwhile, Blockbuster was still asking, do we have enough copies of the latest DVD? Then came the moment everything changed. 2007, Netflix launches streaming. At first it looked weak, limited catalog, low quality, slow internet speeds. Blockbuster saw no threat. But Netflix wasn't optimizing for the present. They were betting on inevitability. Bandwidth would improve, technology would evolve, behavior would shift, and when it did, Netflix would already be there. Blockbuster, finally sensing danger, reacted. They launched their own mail service. They removed late fees. They even experimented with streaming. But it was too late, because Blockbuster had one critical weakness. Their entire business depended on stores. Streaming didn't just compete with Blockbuster, it made them irrelevant. By 2010, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. The empire collapsed under massive retail overhead, declining foot traffic, and strategic hesitation. Meanwhile, Netflix exploded. Millions of subscribers turned into hundreds of millions. Streaming became the global standard. Original content reshaped the industry. Netflix didn't just survive, it became a cultural gatekeeper. They didn't just distribute content anymore. They decided what gets made. This wasn't just disruption, this was replacement. Blockbuster optimized for what made money yesterday. Netflix invested in what would matter tomorrow. One focused on transactions, the other focused on data, behavior, and prediction. And in the end, the company that understood its customers better didn't just win, it rewrote the entire game. Neural strategy, where data tells the real story.